In any city in Britain, between the time you knock off work and the time you go to bed, you'll see them setting off in their hundreds, the trunkers, or, as you would say, the night lorry drivers. For today, more goods go by road than by rail. There are more than 61,000 vehicles licensed to carry other people's goods, and over 500,000 licensed to carry their own, quite apart from the small stuff like milk floats. Most of the heavy traffic goes by night, when the roads are less choked. The days are spent on checking the vehicle, shunting, and local deliveries from depots like this. These people are small parcels carriers, taking goods to all parts of the British Isles. The driver's first consideration is to make sure his vehicle is okay before he sets off from London. All day they've been at work on the bay, loading up his articulated vehicle to you, so it's all ready, sealed and hitched on by the time Wally, our driver, is at work. The largest firm in the country is the nationalised British Road Services. Since competition has been open, their rates have sunk to near private enterprise level, though some users find them less flexible. Some of these parcels may be as small as a paint pot, others large packing cases. A detailed record's kept whenever they're loaded or unloaded, so if anyone inquires, they can soon be told exactly where their freight is now. The depot manager's apt to be anywhere and everywhere, so they keep a line on him via the pocket bleep bleep. A lorry may carry thousands of pounds worth of goods. On this one, the starting switch has a secret cutout, set at a different number each night to foil thieves. If anyone but the driver tries to start it, the alarm is raised. As he starts up, turns and leaves the gates, Wally can tell if his brakes and steering are okay, and if the trailer is evenly loaded. If not, this is his last chance to say so. The first part of the journey is the worst. The city is still full of life and traffic. However, things get quieter towards the suburbs, and it'll soon be a question of straight driving on the open road. Wally's going to Birmingham and back tonight. Many trunkers go far greater distances, though by law they can't go more than 11 hours at a stretch. The law says drivers must break every 5.5 hours too, if not before. A break usually means a cup of tea and something to eat. Some drivers prefer an hour sleeping in the cab. Others say they feel worse when they wake again and would rather have a chat and a smoke. Certainly there's nothing like a good solid transport cafe snack to keep a man going. A recent survey listed nearly 1,000 of these cafes up and down the trunk roads, not counting the places in towns where drivers eat and sleep. The cafe's a great meeting place. You're sure to find someone who's just come from the direction you're going and can tell you if there's frost or fog on the road, breakdowns or pileups. They've even got their own magazine, which deals with everything from points of law to pin-ups. If you see a driver giving his lorry a good kick, don't think he's just lost his temper. Trunkers have pressure gauges built into their toes, or at least this will soon tell them if a tire's flat. They get a few extra shillings for night work, and often a subsistence allowance too. They call it dark money, although in summer it often isn't dark for many hours of the night. There are different views on M1. Some firms don't let their drivers use it. Others leave it to the drivers to decide. And any time they gain is their own. Lorry drivers are among the most considerate road users, and they have a code of passing signals that keeps the accident rate low. The overtaking driver flashes his headlights. If the one in front doesn't flash his rear lights, he goes ahead. When he's clear, the near side driver flashes his headlights as a signal that it's safe to pull over. Something queer here. Pedestrians are barred from the motorway. Even if they weren't, Wally wouldn't stop. Many drivers in the past have stopped for a pretty girl, only to find she was the cover for an ambush of lorry thieves. So most drivers won't pull up for anybody but uniformed police. On this run, the night's halfway through when he gets to the Birmingham depot. Wally will have another rest up here and a cup of tea and a talk with the boys before he turns round. One thing about an Arctic, there's no waiting about while it's loaded. All they have to do at the depot is unhitch the trailer and hitch on the new one ready loaded. It's the same motor all the way. Documents. A driver's got to have piles of them. This lot shows what freight he's got on board. Then there's diesel returns for the customs and excise, the log sheet showing every time he starts and stops, and a load of other papers. He's halfway to being a clerk these days. Here's one of the reasons why papers have to be up to date. The police are out early this morning, backing up the enforcement officer. Licenses to carry goods are hard to get, and to keep one, the firm must obey strict regulations. So must the drivers. A lorry, even more than a private car, is a lethal weapon, and these officers make sure it's no more lethal than need be. Brakes are tested by a special attachment. Then he gets the all clear, and he's off on the last leg of the journey. Wally recently got an award for safe driving, and the boss gave him a cash prize to go with it, just to show that management appreciates these things. It's the end of the week and time off, plus a couple of nights' sleep into the bargain. Not that time off's always a rest. The family often wants to go somewhere, so it's the driving seat again instead of a seat by the fire. Wally's mate says he wants his head looking at if he hasn't had enough driving in the week. But to Wally, weekend driving is a change. Though looking at some of those weekend drivers, he says, it's not always a change for the better.